Let's imagine we're sleeping and we're in a perfect dream. Now that we're in our perfect dream, let's imagine right in the middle of it, we're awakened by the sounds of a screaming child. Hi, my name's Melissa, and for the first 9 months of my son Keegan's life, he interrupted my perfect dream every night, sometimes multiple times a night. By the age of 5 months, a baby should be able to sleep through the night. Keegan, he could fall asleep eventually, but he could never stay asleep and would often wake in the middle of the night crying. That is until I decided to use the Ferber method. Today I will talk to you about the Ferber method and how it works. I will talk to you about how it can stop nighttime tantrums, and it can also help your child from waking at night crying. Then I will talk to you about how this method has made my life less stressful and it has helped me gain more patience with my child. First, we will start off with a little background on the Ferber method and how it works. According to WebMD, the Ferber method is the best known method for baby sleep training. It is named after Richard Ferber, MD and director of the Center for Pediatric Sleep Disorder at the Children's Hospital in Boston. The Ferber method is basically a less intervening way for parents to sleep train their children. And here's how the process works. On day one, you put the child to bed while they're still awake but very sleepy. And then you leave. After 5 minutes of the child crying, you can go in and try to calm the child down, rubbing their back, but then you leave. Once you leave, if the child continues to cry, you then wait 10 minutes the second time around. You will go on in 5-minute intervals for the first 2 days to the maximum of 20 minutes in between intervals. After the second day, you will continue the 5-minute intervals until they fall asleep, exceeding the 20 minutes if you need. Keegan and I, the most time that we went in between was 35 minutes. This method has also proven to curb tantrums at bedtime. Right around 8 p.m., Keegan would get very cranky because he was tired and didn't know how to calm himself down. When we started the Ferber method, it seemed to help him calm down easier and he would be able to get to bed. So getting to bed seemed easy now, but after a couple days, he still seemed to be waking up in the middle of the night. So we continued the Ferber method, but we kept in mind all the variables of why babies cry. We made sure that he didn't need to have his diaper changed, and we also made sure that he wasn't too cold or too warm. We also knew that he did not need to be fed. He was on a normal feeding schedule for a 9-month-old, which did not include nighttime feeding. Eventually, on the 4th day of the Ferber method, Keegan began to sleep through the night. Granted, he still would have his one-off nights where he would be cranky and wake up. We were still happy that he was getting the sleep he needed for the most part. Now that we have talked about how the Ferber method works and a little bit about how it has helped me and my son, I can tell you more about how it has helped me mentally and physically. Because I decided to go forward with the Ferber method, I am now a lot less stressed at night and much more patient when Keegan does cry or have tantrums. Since I have a few more minutes to myself with less crying, I feel a lot less stressed, and I also feel a lot happier the next day. I also feel a lot better inside knowing that my son is getting the uninterrupted sleep that he really needs. And lastly, and I can't even explain to you how much more patience this method has given me with my children, especially when they're having crying fits or tantrums. So this was a perfect method for me and my child, and it can be for you too. You just have to keep in mind, again, the variables, and you have to be strong. Although the Ferber method is a very controversial method for parents because they don't typically like to let their children cry it out, it is a proven and very effective method. Myself, a number of my family members and friends have had great success with it. It is definitely a process that you will have to prepare yourself for because it will not be a walk in Central Park. However, in the end, it will be worth it. If you can remain consistent and maintain a regular schedule, it can be simple for you and your child. Not only does this method help curb tantrums and waking up in the middle of the night, it also helps relieve some stress, and it can help you gain more patience with your child. It will give your child a head start on their much needed independence. Once they gain a sense of that independence, you will see them grow and thrive. And in return, you will be back in your perfect dream, uninterrupted.